Early today, President Pig, unleashed a whole bunch of tweets that appeared to take issue with the notion that Joe Biden has the backing of all the firefighters in the United States. Oh, that must have been like, I don't know, like Melania shoving sand up his ass or something while he's still asleep. Oh my God, what? The volume of the tweets. What did he do? He sent out, 60 tweets or something? The volume of those tweets and retweets. Let us see Trump's anxiety about losing union support in the 2020 presidential election to Biden. Union support? If there's one fucking union member out there who supports Trump, fuck you, you traitor son of a bitch, you. Get the fuck out of here. Go someplace where you can work with your fascist leader. You're a union member and you support a president who would cut your fucking throat, take away from you everything that unionization has given you with blood and sweat and tears for 100 fucking years, and you're a union member and you support Trump. Piss on you. You're filth. You're lower than Trump. Jesus Christ, I can't. See, this is why I cut back to 1 hour. On Monday of this week, the National Firefighters Union endorsed Biden. Just a few days after he announced that he was running as a Democrat for the presidency. And according to the New York Times, during his first campaign speech the same day, Biden positioned himself as the best president for union workers. A group of voters who supported Trump more than expected in the 2016 election. You were a fucking union member and you supported Trump, you goddamn dog, you. Fuck you. How could you do that? Unconscionable prick. In his speech, Biden said, "I make no apologies, I'm a union man, period." And then Trump lost his shit. 60 retweets today from Twitter users as evidence to the contrary, that he's not a union man. Trump wrote on one Twitter post, between dozens of retweets, he wrote, quote, "I've done more for firefighters than this dues-sucking union will ever do, and I get paid zero," all caps. Can you fucking believe that a president of the United States would say something that, well, stupid, asinine, obscene, ridiculous? This avalanche of Twitter messages, mostly retweets, was unusual even for President Pig. And they came ahead of testimony by William Barr today, where he's facing questions about his portrayal of Mueller's report into Russian interference, and whether Trump obstructed the inquiry as being, he didn't do a thing wrong, Trump. But Trump's focus overwhelmingly was on the firefighters, not the Russia investigation, not the issues that this country is screaming for leadership about. But Trump, being the narcissistic fucking lump of fat and slob and spit that he is more concerned about the 2020 election coming up and the support of these goddamn fucking traitor dog union members who voted for him? Jesus Christ. But he's more focused on losing union voters than the effect that the Mueller report will have on his chances for re-election. And that speaks volumes to exactly what I was talking about this hour. Trump is going to come out of this, and he's going to be reelected. You fucking believe that? You don't believe it, do you? I never would have thought that a piece of human garbage like Trump could ever be elected president. Never. Never. Not in a million fucking years. Kaboom. You think he can't be reelected? You think he won't be? And if he isn't, you don't think he's going to declare one of his pocket states of emergency so he can suspend the election? If you want to believe otherwise, have at it. But boy, are you due for a surprise in November of 2020. God damn, are you due for a surprise. I hope your heart can take it. Some of the Twitter accounts retweeted bore the usual signs of inauthenticity. More, the troll farmers are hitting our system just incredibly. And fucking Twitter and fucking Facebook and fucking Instagram are doing nothing to stop it. I don't give a shit what you read in the paper. Oh, well, we pulled 10,000 accounts. Some of the signs of inauthenticity, they're fake, they're from Russian trolls. A recent creation date, a name that included a series of random numbers, a feed that mainly retweeted others' content. Some of them appeared to be normal Twitter users and Trump supporters who opposed the political leanings of the firefighters' union leadership. God damn. And then this reminds me of the election of 1980. This is from the Times. But listen to this. Typically, labor unions support Democratic candidates. But Trump garnered more support from union workers in the 2016 election than some of his Republican predecessors. Some union leaders attributed this to his populist message on the economy that resonated with union voters. Okay. You fuckers. You know, almost 40-some years ago, union workers in this country abandoned the Democratic Party. They didn't try to exert pressure to reform it if it needed reforming. They abandoned the Democratic Party and went for Reagan. How does it feel, you stupid sons of bitches? You had your pensions taken from you. You had your pay drop. You had your taxes increased. Reagan increased taxes, what was it, 11 fucking times. And you voted for him twice. Are you fucking crazy? And the Times reports this. After the 2016 election, the President of the United Steelworkers Union, which had endorsed Hillary Clinton, sent a letter to its members, the president did, acknowledging the political divide of its membership and concerns about the slow economic gains since the Bush administration. That was another one. The union's president, Leo Gerard, wrote this, quote, Donald Trump used our own words to speak to these problems and to the real suffering, fears, and anxieties that so many feel, end quote. And union workers went for the bullshit pouring out of the mouth of a bullshit artist I mean, since when did the stereotypical union worker, steel worker, factory worker, auto worker, who goes to have a beer or two after work and sits in a neighborhood bar? We had one in my neighborhood when I grew up. And I used to go in there to sell evening papers. And I got to hear some of the conversation. And one of the things that I remember, those guys, and they were all men, prided themselves on being able to spot bullshit in the next county. And if there's one thing that they wouldn't tolerate was political bullshit. Oh, they bullshit each other. That's what those have a couple beers after work sessions were all about. But they knew who was lying to them. They knew the bosses were lying. They knew the capitalists were lying. But they had a decent job. They had this to do and that to do. So fuck it. They would make comments about the political leadership and let it go at that. And come election time, go vote Democratic. So am I to believe, and I guess so, that in the run-up to the 2016 election, that these union workers, these people who use their fucking hands and their backs to make a living, were not able to spot and smell and see this eruption of bullshit that was coming from Trump with his so-called populist message? Are you fucking insane? Trump, a populist? But that's what happened. And I wonder how many union workers are going to do it again in 2020. Probably a lot of them. McCartan said, the head of the, or not the head of the union, a history professor at Georgetown University, said that there's always been a slice of union workers who would vote Republican. Trump's support, according to this professor who specializes in labor unions, Trump's support, he said, is likely higher among likely higher among white male union members in the construction trade and law enforcement. Why? Especially law enforcement, which is a socialist enterprise. But the construction trade? You people support Trump. Trump's current rhetoric where he says that union leaders are out of step with the rank and file is bullshit. But that's what Trump is saying because he feels threatened by what Biden could bring to the Democratic ticket. But this is something that Trump is an expert at. Divide. He doesn't bring, well, you know this. He doesn't bring disparate groups together. He doesn't bring people together. That would never, ever, fucking ever be Trump's MO. He divides. He separates. He tries to get people at each other's throats because he knows, just like that pig fucker Rush Limbaugh has known for 35 years, that is the only way for fascism to rise. The only way is to set people against each other. Watch out for the coloreds. Watch out for the Jews. Watch out for the liberals. Watch out for the immigrants. Watch out for the Democrats. Watch out for the Muslims. That's what Trump does. That's what the President of the fucking United States does. He sets people at each other's throats. We're going to let it happen again? When the fuck are the American people going to say, that's enough, and take to the streets to make the point? Ever? Ever? Next week? Next month? Tomorrow? Ever? If we don't, listen to me, just this one time. If we don't do that, we lose. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcast. You have your choice. You can listen to the ranting with the audio podcast or listen and watch me lose control with a video podcast subscription. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.